Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am about to begin siliconing the baffles into my sump here. What I've done here is I have put my baffle in place, and I have used a little dab of super glue. And what that's going to do is it's going to keep the acrylic from moving while I silicone it. New York Stilo had commented and mentioned that silicone doesn't really adhere to acrylic, and from what I've read, I looked around and they said to just run a bead of super glue around it and then silicone over it, and hopefully that will work. There shouldn't be too much pressure in this tank, so I should be okay doing that. So these are going to hold it in place. Then I'm going to run a bead all the way around, and then I'll start siliconing. One thing that's handy is I picked this stuff up, and it's just super glue gel, but it's in a kind of a cool case. All you have to do is push these little thingies here, and it squeezes it out really easily. You don't have to worry about the bottle getting all squished or whatever. It makes it really easy to control how much you're squeezing out. But I'm gonna try and rig up a way so I can have the camera watching while I silicone. We'll see if I can manage to do that. If I can, then I will show you before I start siliconing. I'll show you what the bead of glue, and then after, I'll show you as I'm siliconing this in. All right. Well, super glue never set up. I don't know if it's because of the temperature right now or what, but it has been a couple hours and the super glue is still not even tacky. It's just still wet. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the silicone on and hope that everything works out all right. Cut a fairly small hole for the silicone. I wanted to have a little more control over the bead. But basically, from what I understand, you just go ahead and you start filling it in all the way along, just like this. And you want a good solid bead. Take your time, and you just work your way all the way across. Move the camera here. Now I spent maybe 20 minutes looking for something to poke a hole in the foil that's sealing the silicone. Turns out the silicone, or the caulking gun that I bought for $1.50 at Home Depot, came with a little long pin to poke a hole. So just keep an eye on that. You might actually not have to search like I did. Alright. Working on this corner now. I'm just trying to fill in any space left. Actually, I need to fill in over here too. Sorry if there's any quality issues. I've got a piece of acrylic sitting across the sump, and the camera is shooting through it. And it seems on my screen that it's a fairly clear picture, but you never know till you're done, really. So hopefully this will bond well to both the glass and the plastic. We'll see what happens. One thing you do want to make sure you use is 100% silicone. preferably a reef safe silicone, although 100% is usually just fine, as long as it doesn't have the sometimes they put chemicals in it to inhibit algae growth underneath it or something like that. You don't want to get any chemicals in your tank, so stay away from that. What I ended up doing is using painter's tape that I had left over to secure the baffle and hold it in place, since the glue wasn't working. So I'm thinking I maybe cut these corners off a little too far. I'm having to fill in a lot here with the silicone, but I think it'll work. Alright, well, this side's just the same as the other. I'll show it to you when I've got a few more baffles in, and we'll take a look at it. Alright, this is the end result. What I did is I took my finger and I slowly slid it up, smoothing it out, making sure it had a good edge on it. It looks like I filled in all the right spaces, although I won't really know for sure until I leak test. Actually, I need to smooth this out a little bit here. There we go. And that's what it looks like. So I'm going to do a few more baffles and show you after I have them all in. Well, this is how far I've gotten so far. Gotten these 3 baffles in. These tight spaces are really kind of difficult to work in. I've had to play around with it to try and get an even coat. Even there, it's not perfect, but we'll see. If it leaks, then we'll go back and fix it, but it doesn't look too bad. I know this black baffle here is a little crooked, but it's what I had to do to get the best seal, so I'm not stressing over it. I'll go through after all the silicone's dried with a razor and just scrape up all this extra silicone that's everywhere. It's not exactly the easiest stuff to work with, but should turn out okay. I'm going to put in the last baffle over here, and again, I'll show it to you again when it's done. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final finished product after all the baffles have been put in. I was able to get this one in straight, which is good. My dimensions of my protein skimmer that's going to be coming are 10 by 6.7. So what I did is I made this chamber 8 inches. I have a piece of acrylic here extra that is going to go over this to keep splashing down, and have a hole cut for the inlet. But my protein skimmer should fit in here just fine with no problem. I'm actually going to set up a thing so I can so I can have a micron sock if I want to as well on this. This gap here, I was thinking I might want to at some point in time use my refugium to quarantine a fish in case behavioral problems, need to move one of my fish out for acting out or something like that. So I'm going to actually figure out some way to put a mesh over that, I think. Shouldn't slow down the flow any, but it should make it so the fish can stay in there without getting sucked up by the protein skimmer. Like I said, these were a little difficult, but they're all in. Sorry about the glare. I got a light right above me. Other than that, it's pretty much done. Like I said, I'm going to have the piece there for the inlet. I'm going to have one here for the return. Hopefully those will help with evaporation too. I have a 24-inch old power compact light that I'm going to put over here. Just stick a new power compact bulb in it. I may use this portion to do some fragging as well as a refugium, so I wanted to have a light that will allow me to do maybe some LPS stuff down here. Anything SPF is going to have to be on the top. I'm going to have a nice T5 light up top. But that's the sump, and refugium. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. I'll be doing another video finishing the plumbing on the tank. I'll be staining the stand. I even got some cool new hardware for the stand, so it'll look good with the dark brown. Make it look all pretty. I also need to put a floor in the stand, and I'm gonna put a couple feet on it, I think. I don't know what I want to do. I may just do a whole nother 2x4 rim around. I want to raise it a couple inches if I can, because as it is, I mean, this thing's maybe 3.5, 4 feet off the ground at the top of the stand. I mean, I'm 6'2", and you can kind of get an idea of the angle that I'm looking down at it. So I want to raise it about 6 inches if I can. We'll see how that goes. Other than that, that's it. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe.